It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl, the science quiz program here in the Prince George's Schools, where for the past 34 years we have been testing science IQs, and we invite you to play along as well. We have 6 outstanding players here today, 3 of whom might be from a school that goes on to become our second semifinalist in this year's elementary school competition. Let's meet today's teams. First, from Whitehall Elementary, would you please welcome to the program Jaden Johnson, Grant Christensen, and Estuardo Guzman. And over at Yorktown, let's meet first our 2 sisters, Gabrielle Burton and Riley Alicia Burton. And she's a sister too over there, Lauren London. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing, and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's science potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
And here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to question difficulty. Easier questions on the left worth 5 and 10. Tougher ones, 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points. Never any penalties for incorrect answers. End of the 2 rounds, one of these 2 very talented, good-looking teams will come back to play Judge Sylvania Woods for the opportunity to go on to the semifinals and the finals. And we should note both of these schools are former county champions. Whitehall, most recently just 2 years ago. Let's go over and make sure everything works properly. Grant, why don't you try your buzzer? Okay, it looks and sounds A-OK. Good luck to you and to Jaden and to Estuardo. And Riley, how about yours? It's a group push over there. It's very sisterly. You can see that. It looks and sounds good. Gabriel and Riley and Lauren, good luck to you today. Congratulations, guys, for making it this far in the competition. We're expecting a good game, and I know you're going to deliver. Let's have a good time. We go alphabetically, W before Y. We're at the end of the alphabet here, which means Whitehall, you go first.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams in Australia, they have trees called dinosaur trees, the Wallamai pines. There are only 200 left. And since they all share the same DNA, those trees are literally what's of each other, Whitehall?
Relatives?
Not relatives. Since they since they all have the same DNA, all of those 200 trees you would say are what's of each other?
Copies of each other?
I'm looking for the word clones. Clones, which is, you danced around it, but we didn't quite hear it there. Go red.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams, a snowflake, like a cell and like an atom, has one of these at the very center. Yorktown.
Nucleus?
A nucleus, yes. A little piece of dust or dirt is the nucleus for each and every snowflake. Go green.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, our ancestors ate very tough plant material. And yet, if you look at old skulls, this hard material on the outside of their teeth is never damaged. Whitehall?
Enamel.
Enamel, that's it. Good. You're on the board. Go red.
Dateline science for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. Teams, we've all heard of El Nino. It influences our weather. It is unusually warm water in the Pacific that occurs, because of its name, El Nino, specifically at what time of the year? Specifically at what time of the year?
Summer.
Whitehall?
Summer?
No, not summer. El Nino is the clue. They name it that because it occurs at what time of the year?
What time of year?
Yorktown.
What time?
Christmas.
Christmas.
Christmas. El Nino, the Christ child. Go again, red. Tie score, 65 all.
Zoo parade for 15.
Zoo parade for 15 points. You know, the first zoo in America is the Philadelphia Zoo, and they pride themselves on comparative pathology. They look for diseases that affect animals and people both, like hepatitis. Hepatitis, woodchucks get it. Whitehall jumped in. They might anticipate where I'm going.
Liver.
Liver, that's right. The liver is attacked in both a woodchuck and in human beings. Good answer. Thank you, Estuardo. Nice try and good answer. Go.
Let's get physical for 15.
Let's get physical for 15 points. Teams, this chemical is an emulsion of oils. It's also a suspension of proteins, and it is a solution of sugars. And whether or not it comes from a cow, a goat, or a camel, it will taste differently. Whitehall?
Milk.
I'm describing milk. Indeed. Good. Red. Go.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. A lot of us are very concerned about Alzheimer's disease. We've had relatives suffer from it. Scientists now have seen that an accumulation of this chemical element with the symbol Al, Yorktown,
Aluminum.
Yes. Aluminum plaque in the brain seems to always go along with people who have Alzheimer's disease. A promising observation as we try to come up with some kind of cure. Good. Go green.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. What T, initial term, describes the tube in your respiratory system? Yes, Whitehall.
Trachea.
Trachea, that's right. Trachea is also the name of the tiny tubes you find in the abdomen of insects, which is how they breathe in those spiracles. Little tracheae. Go red.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Listen carefully. The only time this green thing is pluralized with just an S is when you describe the National Hockey League team in Toronto, which is known, Whitehall,
Maple Leafs.
the Maple Leafs, Leafs. Any other time you pluralize leaf, it's Leaves, but not for that team. Good answer. Go red.
Zoo parade for 10.
Zoo parade for 10 points. You know, it seems like swimmer Michael Phelps, he's so good that he has these appendages like you find on seals and sea lions. Yorktown.
Flippers.
Flippers, exactly right, yeah. He may have flippers. You know, we're going to have to check his hands. Maybe they're kind of webbed like Aquaman. Go green. Good answer.
Zoo parade for 25.
Zoo parade for 25. Big one in that category. Teams, a horseshoe crab is not a crab. It's not even a crustacean. It's related to scorpions. What kind of group? Yes, Whitehall.
Arachnid.
Yeah, it's an arachnid, just like scorpions and spiders. Good answer. Thanks, Jaden, for your help on that. Go, Grant.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. You know, rickets in children and osteoporosis in adults are two diseases that affect, yes, Yorktown.
Your bones.
The bones, exactly, the skeletal system. Nicely done, ladies. All right, the buzzer said, boy, that was a quick first round. Let's check that score. Whitehall's at 145, Yorktown 95. Lots of points to give away. We'll be right back with the second half of Science Bowl. Don't go away. And welcome back to Science Bowl. I hope you're enjoying this game at home as much as we are here in the studio. Two great teams, and you can see by the way they're answering, they know their science. Let's find a little bit about each one of them. Let's go to Whitehall. And Grant, tell us about your school. Who's your principal?
Miss Farmer.
Miss Farmer. And Miss Farmer used to be a Science Bowl coach herself, and she is here today. And she's just a great principal. She was a great coach, too. And in addition to her, you also have another coach, don't you? Who's that?
We have Miss Wine and Miss Chilcote.
Absolutely. Be out in just a few moments' time here. Tell me, you have any alternates on your team, Grant?
We have Stone, Charlotte, and Jake.
Okay, and those that are here we'll bring out just a few moments. Tell me something special about your school that you think the audience might want to hear.
We have lots of clubs like Science Bowl and Science Club.
Science Club. Do you have any musical opportunities? Do you have a band or an orchestra there of any kind?
We have band and orchestra and chorus.
Okay, great. What do you do in your spare time, Grant?
I like to read.
Yeah? What kind of books?
I like to read graphic novels.
Yeah. Can you recommend one to us, one that you read recently that made an impression? Maybe they all blend together after a while. That's all right. Estuardo, nice to have you here today. You want to be a Navy SEAL someday?
Yep.
Why? I think it's a great ambition, but why do you want to do that?
I've always loved the ocean and the water, and I've loved sea animals, so like, why not work there and see them every time?
Absolutely right.
Pay them a visit.
And you're helping to defend the country too.
Yes.
So I know you're going to be the fittest of the physically fit guys when you do that, right?
Yeah.
What do you do in your spare time?
I play with my little brother. I usually play online games with my friends, and I like to read a lot.
Wonderful. Do you swim somewhere?
I used to have a place to swim, but not anymore since it's all closed.
You
And
gotta find a place to swim. If you
Yeah.
want to be a Navy SEAL, we gotta get your water wings going there.
Yeah.
Jaden, nice to have you here today. What do you want to do someday?
I want to be in the NBA.
Yeah. You play basketball now?
Mhm.
Do you play on a team? What team do you play for?
I play for Gork,
Yeah. If you had your dream, what team would you play for professionally?
the Philadelphia 76ers.
I see. So, in addition to sports, do you have any other, a lot of professional athletes, they go on to another career. You're thinking about something else as well?
I'd like to make video games.
Video games, very good. All right. Yorktown, nice to have you guys back again. Everyone's in blue here today. Y'all look good. And you got matching shirts over there. Riley, tell us about Yorktown. Who is your principal?
Our principal is Dr. Savoy.
Absolutely, and she is very, very proud of you. And tell us about any coaches on your team.
Our coach is Mrs. Morales, and our sponsor is Miss Paramba.
Wonderful, and they work together, have done so for many years to make sure we get a great team here. And you guys have a lot of spirit, just like
Yes.
Whitehall does. You know, and when you come in here, I can tell you just want to play and you're here to have a good time. And we appreciate that. Tell me about any alternates on your team, Riley.
We have Emma, Zoe, Ebony, and Daniel are here today, but Jasmine and Giselle, but Jasmine is sick with the flu, so she couldn't come.
I'm sorry. Yeah, the flu has been bad this year, and we hope it gets better very, very soon. Tell me something about your school that is really, really cool.
Something that's really, really cool about our school is that our teachers make learning fun and interactive, and that they listen to everyone's ideas before making a decision.
Boy, that is so important. Good listeners are rare in life. And if you've got an idea and you open it up and you hear something else, always acknowledge other people's ideas, because you can learn that way. Thanks for sharing that. And I know you've got good teachers there. What do you want to do, Riley?
I
Someday.
would like to be a professional gymnast, then after I retire, a cellist, because I play my cello now.
Because I know you play the cello, so you're not only a great student, but you're also an accomplished musician, and it's nice to have you here. Gabrielle, tell us about yourself. Gabrielle, tell me what you do in your spare time.
I like to read. I do lots of things. Like I play with Legos. It depends on the type of day. I might play video games.
Yeah.
I might draw. I might watch Netflix. I do a lot of stuff.
I know you like to play basketball and softball, right?
Soccer.
Soccer, and you want to be a professional athlete?
Yes, I'd like to be a professional athlete, and then when I retire, I'm a sports analyst, and I'd like to get a PhD at UCLA.
You got the patter. You got to talk fast, and you got to keep people engaged, and you got it. So pursue that dream. Lauren, tell us about yourself. I understand you're a good speller.
Yes.
Yes.
I won my school's spelling bee.
Congratulations.
Thank
What
you.
was the word you won on?
Photosynthesis.
Oh my goodness, one of my favorite words, photosynthesis. Person after my own heart here. Tell me what you want to do one day.
I want to be a world-renowned pediatrician who does piano in her spare time.
Wonderful, because you've been a pianist for some time, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah, an accomplished musician. You have great spirit over there. All right, let's get back to that game. You're welcome. 145 for Whitehall, 95 Yorktown. Last correct answer came from the green team. So, Riley, lots of points yet to give away. Where do we go?
Body systems for 25 points, please.
Body systems for 25. The big one in that category is as follows. A lot of people, to go to sleep, take something called melatonin, which is something your body naturally produces in the endocrine gland known as the pineal gland. Since it comes from an endocrine gland, melatonin is known as what kind of chemical? Yorktown for 25 points. What kind of chemical is melatonin?
A sedative?
Not a sedative. Good try. Because melatonin is produced in the endocrine gland known as the pineal gland, we call it one of these, Grant.
A hormone?
A hormone, exactly right. Endocrine glands produce hormones like adrenaline and thyroxine. Good comeback. Go red.
Green things for 10.
Green things, 10 points. All right, teams. If a plant is suffering from chlorosis, Yes, Yorktown.
It has lack of chlorophyll.
Yes, which means it's not as, what color is it?
Green.
Yeah, it's not as green, you know. It's not as green as it should be. You got that right. Go green.
25. Green things for 25 points.
Green things for 25 is the big one in that category. Teams, if you take a stalk of celery, you put it in a glass jar, you put some red food coloring, that red food coloring is going to go up into the celery because of what action that has the same name as the tiniest blood vessels in your body? Whitehall.
Capillary?
It's called capillary action, absolutely. The adhesion of water molecules, they literally defy gravity as that water goes up. Go. Red.
Dateline science for 5.
Dateline for 5 points. All right, teams. Because it was the B strain that predominated this year and not the A strain that we were all vaccinated. Whitehall.
The flu?
The flu, yeah, the flu. We did not get a vaccination that was aligned to the strain of flu that actually came here, even though they tell us if you get the flu, it is less intense. I don't know about that. Go red.
Super 8 for 5.
Super 8 for 5 points. Teams, there's a new version of the movie Dr. Dolittle. Yes. What do you want to tell me, Riley?
He can talk to animals?
Well, I was about to say there was a song called Talk to the Animals, and one of the verses in Talk to the Animals said, I'd study elephant and eagle, buffalo and beagle, alligator, guinea pig, and this insect that is renowned for its jumping ability and is the curse of dogs everywhere. Whitehall?
Ticks?
Fleas. Fleas. Dogs get fleas. Go red.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, your gastrocnemius muscles have what same name as baby elephants? Yorktown. Gentlemen, talk among yourselves in case I have to come to you. Yorktown? You rang in, you had an idea.
A kid?
No, not a kid. Your gastrocnemius muscles, this is the body system category, have what same name as baby elephants? Calves. Calves. A little baby elephant is called a calf. Go again, just like the calf on the back of your leg. Go red.
Let's get physical for 5.
Physical for 5 points. Tinted windows can block these kinds of rays. Ultraviolet. Whitehall.
Ultraviolet rays?
Ultraviolet is correct. Yes, indeed. Go again, red. Thank you, Estuardo.
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. They're not just for kids anymore. A lot of adults now are relieving stress by using these building blocks. Yorktown.
Legos?
Legos, yes. Something about mom and dad playing with Legos. It's just not a good image, but it helps. Go green.
Green things for 20.
Green things, 20 points. Teams, there is a new Barbie doll out. Barbie is an arborist. She likes trees, and she particularly likes to study the tops of trees. Yes, Whitehall?
Canopy?
Yeah, she's called Tree Canopy Barbie. Good.
Let's get physical for 10.
Physical for 10 points. Teams, vacuum suction cups don't work very well because on rough surfaces because air can get behind them. But they have new versions out that let people climbing walls do so with no problems, just like what superhero used to do.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Good, go.
Super 8 for 20 points.
Super 8 for 20 points is a visual question. Look at the monitor in the studio, if you would, please. And this is not an optical illusion. They recently saw a zebra on the African plains. Instead of striped, it was spotted. It's spotted because which of the following substances was not distributed properly? Was it kaolin, albumin, or melanin?
Melanin.
Melanin is right. Good. You got yourself the point you needed. Those go green.
Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25. Big one in that category is as follows. The beautiful, listen, the beautiful Aurora australis, better known as these. Whitehall.
Southern Lights?
Southern Lights, yeah, we couldn't trick you. Not the Northern Lights, not the Borealis australis. Good answer. Go, guys.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Not only did the Kansas City Chiefs win the Super Bowl, recently, the place where they play, Arrowhead Stadium, beat the Seattle Seahawks in being the noisiest and the loudest stadium of them all in the NFL. In fact, they registered 100, Whitehall,
Decibels?
142.2 decibels. Yes, sir. Good, go.
Dateline Science for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. Teams, what American statesman and inventor discovered that water is a good conductor of electricity, but ice is not? Something he might have considered when he was flying a kite in an electrical storm.
Ben Franklin.
Ben Franklin, yes. Wait till we recognize you. I like your enthusiasm. Good, go green.
Let's get physical for 25 points.
Let's get physical for 25. Big one in that category. Teams, you know, volcanoes can change the climate because as they're erupting, they're releasing a lot of carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide gas. Those gases mix with water vapor in the air to create lots and lots of this.
Smoke.
Whitehall.
Smoke?
No, not smoke. Carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide from the volcanoes mixes with water vapor in the air, creating a lot of...
Ash clouds.
Say it.
Ash clouds.
Not ash clouds. Acids. Acids. Go again, please. Green.
Dateline Science for 25 points.
Dateline for 25 points. Teams, what famous Greek thought he could use a giant concave mirror and direct the rays onto ships in the harbor and catch them on fire? He was the same man who jumped out of a bathtub. Riley?
Archimedes.
It is Archimedes, exactly right. Good, go.
Let's get physical for 20 points.
Physical for 20 points. Teams, your question is this, it's a visual. Look at the monitor, please. This eclipsed sun that is coming up here is surrounded by a halo that has what same name as the virus, Whitehall.
Corona?
Say it again.
The corona?
Coronavirus, that's it. That is the corona. Last question of the game is Science Potpourri for... It's Let's Get Physical for 20 points. All right, last one is that. Teams, is the frost that you see on a car windshield in the morning disappears because of something called sublimation. What happens to that frost? Yorktown.
It evaporates?
No, it sublimates. Whitehall, so what happens to it?
Melts?
No, it doesn't melt. It goes directly from a solid to a gas. There is no intervening, which is why sublimation is different from evaporation. We've come to the end of the game, and it looks like Whitehall has done it. We'll be back with a wrap-up in just a moment. Don't go away. And welcome back. It was a hard-fought game, and just about all of us are smiling in here. There are a couple of youngsters here because it's emotional. Everybody wants to win this, but you know, we can't take anything away from these youngsters. They are the best, and we are proud of each and every one of them. Our final tally today is Yorktown 185, Whitehall 280s. Let's have a round of applause for the Whitehall team, Jaden, Grant, and Estuardo. Ms. Wine, congratulations, former champs. One more step to repeat. Also over there we have Ms. Chilcote, the principal here, Ms. Farmer. She is very proud of this team here. And also wave Jake, if you're there, and Charlotte and Stone. You don't look very happy there in the center. Let's see a smile. Let's have a round of applause for this Yorktown team. Yorktown is amazing. Our dynamic duo, the sisters over there, Gabrielle and Riley, and Lauren, also a sister, as we said. Dr. Savoy is here, the wonderful principal, and also we've got our two sponsors, Ms. Parambo and Ms. Morales. And look at all those alternates. That shows you how important this is. Daniel waved everybody, and Giselle, and Emma, and Zoe, and Ebony. Did we get everybody? Wonderful. We're so proud of all of them, and we thank you for watching here on Science Bowl. Join us next time for yet another playoff match. Until then, I'm Dave Zarin. Bye-bye.